Serie A champion. What a save this was. This might have been genuinely one of my favourite ever saves. We've won this league. Zilly lifts the trophy, our very first proper intake player as well. Get in. I'll catch you in the next adventure. What should we do next? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I mean, we couldn't actually leave it there, could we? Welcome back to the Catanzaro save. Yes, welcome back, because there's another episode. I couldn't leave it there. I know from the start I said this series will end when we win the Serie A or the Champions League. And we won the Serie A in the last episode. It was glorious. It was the perfect end. Or was it? So many of you have watched this series. So many of you have left comments. So many of you have pleaded for this to continue. And frankly, I've enjoyed it so much that I think we have to take these players to the Champions League. The revised endpoint of this series is when we win the Champions League with Catanzaro. We have got players like Campani and Pasqualini, the unsung hero for me, and Zilly from the very beginning, and Bruno, who's come in with his 20 jumping reach, and the defenders, Rollo, who's tiny at 5'10". These heroes, these players, these characters, they deserve more than just that Serie A title. They deserve a Champions League medal. And that is exactly what we're going to set out to go and do right now. Thank you for all of the support. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Lock in, because Catanzaro, it doesn't end. We're not leaving. Let's go and win the Champions League. Okay, so after winning the title last season, with this season here, after Juventus in that game against Lecce, they blew it in that game against Lecce, didn't they? They lost 3-0 and it meant that a win for us sealed the title. They actually went and won their last game 4-0, and we actually lost our last game against Milan, but it didn't matter by that point. We were on the beach. We were celebrating because our 93 points was enough. It was 30 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses, 110 goals scored. Outrageous. And only 49 conceded. Although actually Juventus did only concede 34. So we actually had only just a better goal difference than them in the end. But we had more points. 93 points. By far our best season. A season that I don't even know if we're going to be able to really replicate. But we do have fantastic players that are only getting better every single season. We've had Campadelli come in through our youth ranks. He's now 17. He's played 33 games for us. He's ready to go, I think, to the next level next year. And if he improves, and we've got Rollo and Teresi, Matasera, if Bruno keeps improving, he's only 21, by the way. If Zilly's still got time left. He's only 26 himself, the old man of the team. By the way, I've made him our captain. I don't know if I should have done that, because Matasera is a genuine hero, but he's got worse leadership than Zilly, and Zilly has been here since the beginning, so I've swapped them. They were vice captain and captain before, and I've swapped them over. Zilly is now our new official captain. He's going to take us to the Champions League. We've got Martucci, who is finally improving. He managed to shake off the unsavoury personality that he had before. I think it was unambitious. He's now got 9 determination. There's time for him to grow into a really good player. He's been a slow burner, but I'm not going to give up on him just yet, although there is the idea of our new guy. Carmine Pacenti came through our youth intake in our final season. In my head, I was like, bit of a shame we're never actually going to see him, but we are now, because we might need him to fire us to a Champions League victory. At 16, he already looks pretty good, doesn't he? I'm hoping he can go and kick on and be a bit of a rotation option with Martucci. And then, of course, we still have D'Angelo as well, who can play at number 10. The squad looks like this. This is our latest squad audit. The only real change is that I have brought in Pacenti. He comes in to join the squad. The rest is pretty much the same. I want to give a bit more time to players like Roma this season, potentially Albanese as well as an option in our attack. Also, I might have a little look at loans for those guys as well. Our focus, though, is going to be 100%, actually 95% on the Champions League this year. If we don't win the league, I'm not all that fussed, although obviously it would be nice, wouldn't it? We just need to make sure we qualify for the Champions League every year, and we're going to go and try and win the Champions League every season. What I'm going to do, the way that I'll structure this, is I will keep things pretty much the same. We'll have the start of the season overview of everything. Then we'll go to January, where we get our youth intake and give you an update on how the season's going. And then each season, we'll go to the knockouts of the Champions League and we'll play those games as live comms, because with that being the focus, we want to see our journey in the Champions League. And I'm going to sort of hope although I will update you in January. I'm going to sort of hope we navigate our way through the league phase relatively comfortably. So many teams go through that you'd expect us to at least get through to the playoff round, wouldn't you? So it will be very similar, with maybe a bit more of an emphasis on the Champions League runs, because that's now what we're going to be chasing. I know that I've said it loads during this series, and I know that we always start with a slightly more chatty beginning to the videos, but I do just want to say again, thank you so much for all the support on this series. I'm so glad that it's captured your imagination as well, as much as it's captured mine, because it's a pleasure to play and make videos on, because of the reception that it gets from you guys. You guys seem to be so invested in it, potentially more so than any other save that we've brought on YouTube. And I just felt like there was just that niggling doubt in the back of my mind where we were going to walk away after the title that just said we could extend this. Now, it might end up being a mistake because the views always tail off in a series, don't they? But I think I owe it to myself and you guys as well to at least try and win the Champions League with these guys. Like, how glorious would it be to see Zilli lift that trophy and Campani score the goals to get us there, and Spinelli contribute even more goals now that he's turned into an actual striker for us? I've been taken in by the romance of it. So let's go and play the first half of this season. We'll find out who we're going to get in the league phase of the Champions League. Hopefully we'll qualify for the next round, as well as keeping an eye on those youth intakes. Let's go. Okay, welcome to January. Actually, that's a lie. Welcome to the end of December 2036. This is, I think it's season number 14 at the club. One title to our name, and I think that's the only trophy we've actually won so far, isn't it? Because we didn't even win Serie B when we came up, because we came up as runners-up in that league, didn't we? Right now, though, we're not doing all that great this season. I feel okay about it because we're still within touching distance of the very top of the league. But we're actually in 5th after 18 games, 13 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses. The 4 losses of what's let us down, really. We've lost to Inter, to Genoa, to Juventus, and to Sassuolo. All of them away from home. So our away form is maybe what's letting us down. This is where I'm thinking, should I tweak things for those tough away games? Because they are all tough away games. We know that, I mean, 3 of them are in the top 4 right now, and Sassuolo are the team directly below us. So it's also more annoying because we're losing to teams in and around us. And if you win those games, it can make such a big difference, can't it? But overall, I'm okay with it because it's only a 6-point gap to the top of the league. But the big difference is, have a look at our goal difference compared to Inter's. Inter are killing it. They're unbeaten. They've got Mark Gui, who's become, I've never seen him become as good as he's become in this particular save. Look at the state of him. He's 30 now as well, but so good. Elite striker scoring the goals for them, 21 in 18 games. They have got, I mean, let's see the actual, they've scored 56 and conceded 14. We've scored 39 and conceded 23, which isn't even that bad. But 56 goals scored is just outrageous. Overall, though, I'm okay with it because, as I say, we're not out of touching distance. I think we can, I mean, 1 win and some drop points from the other teams takes us into this top 4, which is where we want to be. As long as we finish in those Champions League spots, I'm okay with it. And as I say, we are mainly concentrating on the Champions League. Here are the results as a whole. So after our beginning, we beat Lecce 5-1. That was our way of thanking them for beating Juve last season to win us the title. We then lost to Sassuolo. It was an early loss to them, look. The team that are in 6th just behind us. Then we drew to Bologna. So it was 1 win in 3. Then it was a much better run, only losing in the Champions League. We lost to Porto. We lost to Real Madrid. Porto one's a bit disappointing, but the Real Madrid one you maybe expect in the Bernabeu. It was actually a good run in the league, though. We lost to Juventus there, but beat a few good teams. Like we beat Roma, we beat Milan away from home as well. And then a really good November kind of put us back on the straight and narrow. Look at this one, look. Sparta Prague in the Champions League. Luka Orfei scored 4 goals. He's actually become quite important for us, and he's only 20. I don't think he'll ever become elite, but actually looking at his attributes, 15 pace, 16 acceleration, good finishing first touch. He's useful. He is a useful player. 44 games for us now, 12 goals. He's become more useful than I think I maybe first expected him to be. He's got 3 under-21 caps. By the way, loads of you were asking about our players and how they're getting on for Italy. Over the years, we have had quite a few players in the national team. Right now, though, it's only Spinelli and Campani who are in the first team squad. So there's not loads, but over the course of the save, a few of them have got the odd cap here and there. If I go to the under-23s, look, Bruno's in the under-23s. Under-21s, we've got a whole host of them. Fricano, Martucci, Orfei, Colombo, Campodelli, all in there. Campodelli in the under-21s at the age of 17, by the way, is pretty good. Under 20s, we've got one player, De Mayo, who's the centre-back striker guy that we've got, who's not played loads, but is becoming a good player, actually. becoming a viable option at the very least for us. As soon as these young players, when they come in at 16, start to have yellow attributes consistently across the board, you're like, well, maybe we could use them in the first team. The Mayo getting into a national team shows that maybe he's got a bit of potential as well. Under 19s, we've got 2 players, Palmer and Albanese are both in there. Albanese's wanted at the moment by Inter. That's a fun one. And then under 18s, we don't have any players in there. I did want to show you that because so many of you were asking about the national teams. This is the state of contracts as well, by the way. I did want to update you on this too. I went through and offered basically the entire team a new contract. We've got some really big earners. Spinelli's on 190k a week. Campani on 150k a week. I'm so happy to just pay them whatever they want though, especially when I give them 5-year deals with the option to extend by 3 years, just so that I know that they're pretty much locked down forever. They're not going to be able to leave us, at least not by forcing it, by running their contract down and then saying that they're going to consider their options. Matasera I do need to deal with because he's only got 3 years left and he doesn't have the option. But in time, I'm sure I will sort that. Let me show you the Champions League run as our main focus here. If I filter this just by the Champions League, these are our games in the group stage so far. We've won 3 of them. We've lost 3 of them, which I'm okay with because I look at the last 2 games. We've got Lille and Astana. And I'm kind of thinking that 1 win is going to be enough to make sure we go through. Lille away might be kind of tough, but we should beat them. And Astana away, we should definitely beat them in Kazakhstan, shouldn't we? So the league phase, the league table looks like this. We are in the playoff spots in 18th, 9 points. I just think 12 points is definitely going to be enough because at the moment, 2 games to go, 12 points is 7th and 8th in the table. So we should be fine in the playoff spots if we win one of our last 2 games. Win both, we do have a chance of finishing this top group, although it's maybe unlikely because you'd expect a few of these to win at least one of their games, wouldn't you? But I'm okay with that. If we get a playoff round, that'll be absolutely fine. And generally, I'm okay with where we're at as a club. I did ask to extend the stadium. Lots of you pointing out that that's not a 23,000 seater stadium. It looks a lot bigger than that, doesn't it? However, I did build it with the idea that we'd probably expand it at some point during the save. They've actually said no loads of times to me asking to expand it. But I think eventually, because of our reputation and because surely we're getting big numbers of fans coming through our gates right now, eventually we will expand it and this stadium image will look a bit more reasonable for the stadium that we've actually got. That was kind of my thinking anyway. Everything else is the same. Our reputation has stayed at worldwide. Training facilities perfect, youth recruitment perfect, youth facilities 1 off perfect or half a star off perfect, but I can't expand it. If I go here, look, you'll see there's not loads I can do. I can ask for another affiliate club, which I might do. Stadium, I can't ask to expand it at the moment, just build a new one, and then staff, we're okay with all of the staff in there. Before we go and continue and play our final 2 Champions League games and then probably the playoff, if it's an easy team that we draw in the playoff, I'll probably play it. If we end up going out, I'll be back to tell you that we've gone out of the Champions League. If we get to the latter stages, I'll be back to do some live comms because that's the adventure that we're on. I'd love to just be in the game and in the moment with you, like we were for the finale of our title run last season. It makes the magic happen, I swear, in Football Manager. So we'll be back for a Champions League live com run. Right now, I do need to show you our youth intake preview, though. And it is another golden generation shock. At this stage, it isn't actually surprising because we do have amazing youth facilities and recruitment and junior coaching, etc., etc. But the fact it's been this for every single year of the save, basically, is just a bit weird. It's just one of those, though, isn't it? We've got a good keeper coming through. Not actually upset with the good keeper coming through because I am looking at Gargano. He's a genuine legend for us, but he is actually 29 now. That's how long we've been doing this save. A good young keeper could actually be really useful. I'm not fully convinced that Colombo is that guy. I think he's going to be solid. He's got under 21 caps look, but I don't know if he's going to be first team brilliant, although he does have a great personality, determination. Maybe he just needs football. I just look at this and think if he doesn't have 5-star potential, so many of our players do get 5-star potential, even just according to our coaches, that maybe he hasn't got it. So maybe if a good keeper does come through here, we can have a look at him and maybe he'll be the one. We've also got a good striker and the rest is pretty woeful according to this. Fine prospect as a striker. It's not really a position we need. I think we're quite well stocked. Spinelli and Campani, obviously. And then as I mentioned, Orfe is very capable as third choice. And then Albanese as well. I didn't end up loaning him, but I do think he might have decent potential too. The 16 finishing is just really, really good, isn't it? And his pace and his acceleration is actually really good already. Pace, if this increases, a really good height, good work rate, okay composure too. he could be useful for us. So I just think we're quite well stocked at striker. So this intake player would probably have to be quite special. Let's hope he is. I'll be back when that youth intake comes in about April, end of March, unless we've gone out of the Champions League, in which case I'll be back a little bit sooner, but fingers crossed that isn't the case. I'll see you for hopefully some new young players. All right, so we are back. It's the end of March, well, the 22nd of March, not even quite the end, but we have got our youth intake, and I'm going to show you that in a second, but I first wanted to update you on how we're playing this year as a squad. I realised I didn't show you the performances and the stats of the players on here in too much detail. Martucci's played a lot of games this year. I think we are getting a decent player out of him. Was he always 5'6"? I feel like that's changed. I don't know, maybe it hasn't. But he's got some really good attributes in here. It's first touch, vision, off the ball, decisions, composure. The 14s and 15s are really useful here. And I do just wonder if we are seeing, hopefully, him developing into a really good player. The pros and the cons section now is looking really, really good. His personality has changed again. It's up to balanced. I think it was unambitious and then was it fairly sporting? And now it's balanced. So it's all going in the right direction. Giving him a lot of game time this year is hopefully helping. He's not pulled up any trees particularly. 6.93, 4 goals, 3 assists, but 30 starts, all comps, I think is helping him quite a lot. Camperdelli, I've just made him our first choice right back. He is just that guy. Look at the value on Camperdelli now. He has to be up there with one of our best intake players. He's only 18. He's in the under-21s. He's going to be a serious footballer, isn't he? He's played really well as well. 7.03 average rate. Look at his average ratings since he's been here. And that was him playing at 15, 16 years old, wasn't it, for those 4 games? Really impressed with him. The rest of the lads are pretty much who you'd expect. Palmer's played a few games in defence too. Would love his physicals to improve because the rest of him is looking really well developed already and he's massive. Just we need these physicals to improve a little bit more. So I have given a few games to Carmine Pacenti, not loads and a lot of sub appearances for him, but he has now played 7 games for us. He scored a goal, which is quite nice, and he also got a player of the match in one of the games, but 1 start, 6 sub appearances in the league. I'm bringing him through slowly. I'm not sure why he's got the number 3 either. That must have been an auto number or something, because that was not a number I would give him. It's actually kind of upset me a little bit, but we move. We are where we are with it. And the rest of the squad is pretty much how you'd expect. A few games for Roma. We had a big injury for Dongia. He did his cruciate ligaments. He's got another 2 to 4 months still to go. So he's only played 9 games. Luckily, we have Camperdelli to play right back anyway. Rollo at the moment is also injured, but that's only for 5 days and between 5 days and 2 weeks. So he's okay with it. You see the appearances there. In the league, we have improved slightly. We are in the top 4, which I suppose is the most important thing. Genoa do have a game in hand. They would go 4 points behind us if they win that game in hand, but I'm feeling quite confident that we do finish at least in the top 4 to qualify for the Champions League again. It's a bit of a gap to the top of the league. Not an unabridgeable gap, I'd say. It's 5 points to second and third, and then 8 points to the top of the league. Inter are on another planet. This Mark Guilly is... Look at him. That is outrageous. 36 goals. We've only played 30 games in the league. Just outrageous is what that is. Our results overall look really, really good. The thing you will notice, if I just filter this again by Champions League, we did go through the league phase. We lost to Lille 4-0 away, but a win against Astana 6-1 put us through in the playoff spots. It was 16th, so comfortable right in the middle of these playoff spots. It took us through to a playoff round where we got Galatasaray. Against Galatasaray, we beat them 7-0. We'll have a look at the goals in the second leg. You can see it was Campani with a hat-trick in this one. Pasqualini as well. And then Spinelli with the third. Pasqualini getting some lovely assists in there. Penalty to kick things off from Campani. Very, very calm. And then inside the first half as well, we went 2-0 up. Pasqualini winning the header. Look at that, by the way. I'm so glad that this was the game that I chose to show you, not the first leg. Campani scored this. I'm going to slow it right down for you because this is just so outrageous. On the back heel volley, he knocks it past the goalkeeper. Have you ever seen a save with as many like proper heroes as this one? This is why we're doing more of these videos. Here's Thomas Evans, the Welshman in Italy, into Spinelli, crossing for Campani, who pops it into the back of the net. I love these players, man. I love them. That was 3-0, and then it was Spinelli himself who got the 4th goal. Torti into Raimondi, who's on at right back at this stage, into Spinelli. That's just a classic finish, isn't it? 4-0 second leg, 7-1 on aggregate. We went through, of course, and then we went through again. Round of 16, it was Porto. This was a lot closer. We beat them 3-2 in the first leg. Then we went away from home with a lead. And I was kind of scared because they took the lead from Carey in the 30th minute. Then they missed a penalty to go 2-0 up, which would have been putting us out. And then Pasqualini scored this on 77. And without playing very well, it was enough to make sure that we went through. A 1-1 draw in the second leg. This was the goal. We didn't play great. And I'm quite... Pasqualini just popping up and scoring important goals for us. Left-footed, look, it's a lovely finish. Almost side-footed into that far corner. He has scored so many vital goals for us, hasn't he? And every time I look at him, I go, he's not very good. But it doesn't matter. He's the type of player you'd have in a Moneyball save because his stats and contributions are always top-notch. But you look at his profile and think he's not up to much. Doesn't matter. 8 goals, 12 assists this year, 7.36. He's having his best ever season for us. I know he hasn't quite scored as many goals, but I mean, he's definitely not got as many assists either. But 7.36 average rating, 5 player of the match performances. What a man he is. That takes us through to the Champions League round of quarterfinal. That's not what they call it. The quarterfinal where we've got Arsenal. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Arsenal are pretty good. They are Premier League champions currently, reigning champions. They won the league last year. So we might go out, but we're going to go and give it our best shot. Before we go and give that our best shot, I need to show you our youth intake players. The youth intake players led by these guys here. Now, this isn't how our youth intake looked, is it? They said there's going to be a goalkeeper and a striker, which I assume is these two here. But actually, in the top talents category, which I can't quite show, I can't scroll up to that. It's weird. We've actually got 6 players. And I don't know if that's because these two have been downgraded or these guys have been upgraded. It's become a good intake rather than a golden generation once the players have got in. We've got Lombardi, who is the goalkeeper. 5'11" is the first thing that I notice. I'm certainly not blown away by him. I'm not looking at him thinking he's going to be the next big thing. I don't think he's the next Gianluigi Buffon. And I look at the reflexes, which are quite low, but we'll see. The striker is Pier Paolo Benchivenga, which is a really good name at the very, very least. 14 finishing is quite good. He is reminding me of a few other players that we've got, which have some interesting attributes. 14 finishing, 13 technique is nice. 13 off the ball, 12 composure. Striking attributes, quite good. Quite slow. Temperamental, 4 determination. The determination is probably the biggest issue here, isn't it? Physicals can grow. If he does grow quite a lot physically, then he becomes a really good option for us. And that's sort of an if. And potential-wise, it doesn't look like he's up to much. Only 3.5 stars and a couple of those only being white as well. Not sure, but you can see where and how he could become a good player. The best potential, according to this intake, according to Massimo Margiotta, is Luca Di Somma, who's a centre-back, who is tall. And he is physically quite strong. He's got good determination and fairly determined personality. Very aggressive. Positioning is not good. Heading isn't great. Marking isn't great, but he's good at tackling. Good work rate, good technique. Not terrible. Not terrible. If this potential is true, he could be an option eventually. We've got an Ivorian. Just looking through, by the way, we're looking for the players from our affiliate clubs, aren't we? I'm not seeing any. We've got an Albanian. We've got 2 Ivorians. I wonder where that's come from. Is that to do with our staff? Because that's nothing to do with our affiliate clubs. We don't have anything Ivorian in here. Oh, by the way, I did get a new affiliate club, Standard Liège. Brought them in. I did ask for a new one. They have the highest reputation and they've also got really good youth facilities and decent youth recruitment as well. So we might get some decent Belgian players through, hopefully. But we're actually not seeing much of an impact of those affiliate clubs in these players, I don't think. Anyway, Wilfred Koulibaly is a left midfielder who has good physicals. That's about all I can say about him. He also works quite hard. Then we've got a fantastically Italian name here, Francesco Pasquilaccio. I wish he's good. Unambitious, okay determination though, and he looks a bit weirdly patchy. And he also plays left mid, also centre mid, also a little bit of attacking midfield. I wanted him to be better with that name, but I guess we'll see. We'll get him signed up and we'll check from there, won't we? Then we've also got Giuseppe Grelli, who is a mohawked right midfielder, defensive winger, who I'm also not being mesmerised by. I will go and check all of these players. I will sign up the ones who are useful, and I will also go and play Arsenal in the Champions League quarterfinal. If we make it through this, we'll start to do some live comms. If we don't make it through, I'll be back to tell you about the disappointing results. So I'll see you in April sometime. Well, welcome back to the second leg of our tie against Arsenal, where you can see we've won it 3-0. Now, this was after a first leg. This was our home leg. We lost 3-2 in the first leg at the Emirates. But second leg, Bruno scores a header from a corner, because of course he does. That 20 jumping reach. I think he's got about 15 or so goals this season. Then Pasqualini, we were just raving about him before that. He scores another one. Spinelli then catches up with this long cross, and then Campidelli, the 17-year-old, he might be 18 now, our young right back, our prospect, he's 18 now, look, scores that. Look at his value. When he came through, I was going, this guy's good, right? And then a few comments are like, well, yeah, he's one of the best young players coming through an intake you've ever seen. I just needed you to confirm that, because this guy is super special. He has just scored that goal as well to take us to the Champions League semi-final. It was a 3-0 win. We actually, Arsenal are the champions, the Premier League reigning champions. We took them to the cleaners in this leg. You can see by the stats of the game, look, it was actually comfortable for us, and that was after losing the first leg 3-2. This was the first leg, kept us in the game enough. They were pretty good in this leg. Goals from this guy called Samuel. It's all new gen players now, but they are pretty good. Goals from Samuel, Murcia, and João Carlos. Luckily, Spinelli, we actually took the lead. Spinelli scored, and then it was an own goal by Costa. It was 2-1, but then we lost 3-2. All of the goals in the first half. Didn't matter though. We did the business in the home leg. And have a look at the form going into this. A couple of losses. We lost to Fiorentina away. We lost that first leg against Arsenal. We lost in the Coppa Italia quarterfinal. But since January, and since the last time I saw you, we've pretty much won every game. I think I last checked in after this game against Napoli. We beat Spezia 7-0. We beat Empoli 3-0, beat Udinese, beat Genoa 4-0 as well, who are quite close and up there with us. In the Serie A, we are still fourth, but we are comfortably fourth. We are going to be a Champions League team next year. But most importantly, we're in a Champions League semi-final. The semi-finals look like this. It's Juventus, one of our arch nemesis. How poetic would it be if we were now to play them in a Champions League final? They are up against Real Madrid, so it might end up being Real Madrid. We have the small matter of Barcelona to contend with. Now, I would make us not favourites for this, but stranger things have happened, and we are a very confident football team right now. Morale in the camp is about as good as it can be. We've got Spinelli on 28 goals, Campani on 24. Pasqualini's got 17 himself. Bruno, I said it was 15 goals he scored. He's actually got 18 goals. He is such a big threat from those set pieces. We have to make the most of that. But right now, we play Barcelona. We're going to go and play this game. We're going to go and see if we can take advantage of being at home in the first leg and see if we can do what we just did to Arsenal and get us through. Let's pick a new person to go on the bench instead. In fact, we need it to be the goalkeeper, don't we? The team is going to be then Campidelli at right back with Gargano in goal, of course. Rollo, Teresi, Matasera, I think, is our best defence. Bruno, Zilli. Now, it's whether we go D'Angelo, who I've been playing more recently, or whether we go Martucci. Now, I'm going to go, I think, D'Angelo, because in the last 5 games, his average rating's been really good. And maybe he's a bit more, for a game like this, the experience of having a 28-year-old rather than a 21-year-old or a 20-year-old still might be more important. And then the last 3 players have to be Pasqualini, Spinelli and Campani, with some good options on our bench. I think the team picks itself. We're going to go with it. Spinelli is lacking in match sharpness or fitness a little bit, but we have to play him. He is actually our top goal scorer this year. There's the Barcelona team. Go on, lads. Go and do a madness. Go and put us in a prime position to make a Champions League final. That would just be, oh, it would be so good. When I said that we're going to continue this save and we're going to go and try and win the... Oh, that's a terrible start. That is a terrible start. Not just because our right back has just gone off injured, but Donja's still injured. It means that I think Thomas Evans is going to have to come on at right back. I think I'll go Evans over Raimondi's the other choice. But we're only a minute in and we've had to have one of our best players, and he is one of our best players already, go off injured. He got a yellow card and then got injured immediately. That's interesting. Just to pick up where what I was talking about before, when I said that we're going to go on and try and win the Champions League, I wasn't expecting it to be in the first season. It still might not be in the first season. Here come Barcelona. But we've given ourselves an actual chance in this first season after winning the title. We're not going to win the title again this year, but this would be This would be great. If we could get it done immediately, I'd be very happy with that. We're on the attack. D'Angelo. We've gone all the way back to the keeper there. Patience. This is our home game. If we are going to win this tie against a really good team in Barcelona, we do have to make the most of this. I think he's offside. It's a lovely flowing bit of football. I think Campani's ahead of the last defender there. So we've put the ball in the back of the net, but it's not going to count. It isn't. It is disallowed. It was an obvious one. The linesman had his flag up immediately, didn't he? It was actually Evans' look. Yeah, Campani just goes a bit early. And yeah, it's a good, successful offside trap from Barcelona. 5 minutes in then. Let's give them a little bit of encouragement first and foremost here. Will we rue? Did he get injured whilst getting a yellow card? Like, was it a bad tackle that he got the yellow card for? I don't know. Here we go on the attack again. Zilli. This is good football. Pasqualini, go on. I said the bar. He's hit the crossbar. He scored so many important goals for us, and that could have been another one. Good signs, though. Signs that we are able to get in behind Barcelona. 2 shots on target. Well, 1 shot on target from us from 2 shots. They've yet to hit the target. They've got 2 yellow cards now. Yamal and Kobashi. Probably one of 2 of their... And Gavi maybe their only real players left in their team, you'd expect, isn't it? Half an hour in. If we draw this 0-0, I think we might struggle. So we do need a goal. That's a good ball. Pasqualini. Campani's in the middle. Go. Oh, I thought he was going to get fouled and go down, but Kobashi won the tackle. Here come the very dangerous Barcelona. Alexanko. Oh, well, that's a great goal. Yamal. Yeah. That's a lovely goal. We've got it all to do now, haven't we? He's just curled it in. I don't know why we're now reversed and watching it from the other side, but it gives us a nice view of this goal. Alexanko with the build-up. He just curls it in from outside the box. It's very Lamine Yamal, isn't it? He wasn't even playing that well before that. I'm sure this rating is about to go up a little bit. Yeah, it's up to a 7.2 on here. Look, this isn't ideal. Not ideal at all, considering we've been okay. That's their 1 shot on target, and of course, it's ended up in the back of the net. Right before half time, Barcelona on the attack again here. There's a bit of space. That's a lovely goal. That is a really good goal from Cardozo. That's right as the halftime whistle was about to go as well. I don't think we need to see it again. It's right on the stroke of halftime, and we have got ourselves a mountain to climb. From a 0.4 XG, they've scored twice. I'm going to say, what was that? There's not loads that we can do from the bench either, is there? Spinelli's a bit tired. Berate them really early. I think I just berated them and it cancelled a highlight there, which isn't ideal. We need a goal, but to be honest, we need 2 goals here. Go. Who was that? Was that Bruno just dilly-dallying? Rollo's been rolled as well. Going to bounce all the way through. We do have the ball back. Pasqualini's lost it, though, in that header. Barcelona, they're teaching us a bit of a lesson here. Gavi's put it wide. It felt like a tall order. And I'm not looking at our intake and thinking we're going to go to a new net level next year. The way that we improve is because the players that we've already got become better players, which has happened year on year. But I just also feel a bit like if we get to these positions, semi-finals, that type of thing, you have to kind of take your chance. I don't think we're going to take our chance this year. I'm going to bring Orfe on. I'm going to do Martucci on, and then Torti for Bruno, who's a bit tired and not playing great either. I think those are our 3 subs for now. And then see if fresh legs can make a bit of a difference. We're going to need at least 1 goal back to give ourselves any semblance of a chance. But this could be curtains, couldn't it? We're not actually playing that well either. Teresi's now struggling. We'll get Palmer on. Albanese. Is that wild? Parisi. Roma. Maybe Roma for Pasqualini, who's not... Oh no, we've used all of our subs anyway. That is it. This is our final roll of the dice. Throw of the dice as Lamar. Oh, Yamal goes close again there. I mean, definitely not a good idea to concede another goal. I almost kind of wonder if we should go for it and try and score another one. Torti just boots that away, doesn't he? Let's go for it. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but let's go for it. Torti can play there, right? Something like this. and just go for it. If it works, they'll call me a genius. When then Barcelona score another goal, I want to push you forward. Can we go? Really hard to put him on that bit. There we go. I hate this. Look at this. There we go. They can't really play there, but I'm going to push them up and see if they can. If we score a goal, they'll call me a genius. When Barcelona make it 3, it'll be a huge mistake. Oh, Campani's gone close. It was from a set piece, from a corner. He did go close there. I bet he's still looking at this XG. We've had a couple of highlights since going for it. Matasera now down the left. We've got players in the box. Pasqualini could get a shot off. Does get a shot off. He's put it over. It's a save. We've forced a little bit of a few highlights at the Barcelona end. We're good from set pieces. Can we score now? No. Headed away. Orfe back in. They're going to clear it. Give us a goal. Give us a goal. Give us a shot in the second leg. It might not happen. They've got a highlight. Corner to them. Counter-attack maybe. It does get headed away, but Cardozo picks it up. Back post head. Oh, that's going to be onside as well, isn't it? Frail has headed it in. It's going to count. Okay. Champions League was a step too far this year. That's okay. It's disappointing, but that's okay. I don't even know if we need to go and do a live con for the second leg. I mean, this could be done here. I do feel like oh my word, what has Palmer done there? I felt like I had to go for it. And we did force a couple of highlights when we did change the system and move players forward like this. But we then got caught out by a set piece, which isn't actually as a result of the tactic, is it? We've gone down 3-0 at home here. We're not going to a Champions League final this year. I'll go and get that second leg played, and I'll probably be back to you at the end of the season. Oh, let's just check in. How bad is this injury? 2 weeks. Not the worst thing. Now, if a miracle happens, I'll be back to report on that. I don't think it's going to, so I'll probably be back at the end of this season. I'll let you know how we finished in Serie A, and we go again next year. Come on. Okay, here we go then. We played the second leg, and as you would have expected, we didn't go through. We actually lost the second leg 3-0 as well. Barcelona just clearly have a knack of scoring goals from quite low XG chances. They've got players like Lamine Yamal who can just take chances. Escarela gave them the lead. They scored another goal on the brink of halftime, Yamal this time, and then Gavi in the second half. It was another 3-0 win. We lost 6-0 on aggregate, which is fine. It is the way it is, isn't it? Barcelona are a really good team. We're actually a really good team as well, though, which is just frustrating. Our remaining Serie A games were Lazio 3-0, Inter 4-0. And look at that, Inter Milan 4-0. We are a good team. It's just when we come up against this European royalty, it's going to be so hard. It's really put into perspective for me. This might be 2-3 more episodes of this save, because winning the Champions League is not going to be easy, and we're probably going to have to end up doing it the hard way, aren't we? Even after that, look, we beat Parma 6-0. It was a Campani hat-trick, and Salernitana 5-0. It's a great end to the season. We've ended up finishing second. We hit 90 points. So what looked like a just normal season to finish in the Champions League spots has ended up as runners-up. Inter Milan played Juventus in the final game of the season. Juventus won it 2-0. 98 points for them. But us, we won the league last year on 93. This year we got 90, and we finished 8 points off the very top. It's a really, really solid campaign. Here are the stats of the players just so that you can kind of see. 31 goals from Spinelli, 28 from Campani, 21 from Bruno in midfield. Martucci got 10 in the end, 12 from Orfe, who didn't start a lot of games but did come in and score lots of goals for us. And a few of the young players were given opportunities to come in and play, like Pasquale Palmer played 17 times. Pacenti got 9 appearances in total. Roma had 8 starts, 9 sub-appearances. So we are still improving, but we go again next year for the Champions League. I'm going to go and do my squad audit now. As we go into season number 15, we go again. Okay, so it's a good start to our 15th season at the club. Can you actually imagine? We've done 15 seasons in this save. We've won our first game of our 15th year, 7-2 against Lecce. I don't think we've actually seen the away kit in action still, have we? But this game was very nice. I'm going to do it quite quickly. Hence the reason why they're zipping around the pitch like this, just to show you all 7 of our goals. I think Campani got a hat-trick. You've seen a couple of them go in so far. Here's one of them. Look on the turn, smashing it in off the bar or off the post into that top corner. Pasqualini down the left-hand side here. Martucci, I reckon is coming along quite nicely in terms of his development anyway. Here's Campani setting up Spinelli in the middle, and I think that is... No, that's the penultimate goal. They got a goal right at the end here. They've got a lovely... Well, a guy with a lovely mohawk there. Look, I actually didn't even watch the goal there. It's someone called Coutinho. I'm assuming it's not the same Coutinho. This was our last goal. Spinelli, after a defensive mix-up. 7-2 to kick off our campaign. So dominant. It looked like this. I've been swapping these two a little bit. Spinelli playing through the middle because I actually think Spinelli's probably the better player, but Campani's maybe the more meta player for FM24, if that makes sense. Spinelli being small is kind of why I've lent towards him being the poacher. However, he kind of does look like a really good advanced forward. He's got 20 anticipation now. He is really becoming a top player. He's 27 now. He's the one who's got the most caps for Italy, by the way. I know that I showed you who was in the Italy team. It was him and Campani. Campani's got hardly any caps, though. It's a bit weird. I think has he got 3 at this point? He's got 3 caps and not scored a goal yet. I don't really know why. Based on his goal scoring, you'd really think that he'd actually just be leading their line. I assume maybe it's because they play one striker. And, well, he's in the team there, look. But they play, it's kind of a bit like us. They play with one striker. And maybe just going by who's got the higher current ability, it's probably going to be Spinelli, which is why he maybe starts, is kind of my thinking. Bruno's made his way into the national team as well at the moment, which is quite cool. He was on the bench for this last game, whoever they played against in this last game. We will keep an eye on that because I do think it's interesting. Thiago Motta is the manager, playing a not very Thiago Motta style. He's quite out there with his formations usually, isn't he, Motta? But he's gone for a 4-2-3-1 now. Fair enough. Anyway, that is our start to the season. Our squad, I've done the squad audit, the squad it. God, I hate that so much. I've done a couple of loans out. Albanese has gone on loan to Cracovia. I'll show you the other ones as well. We have loaned out Zanoni to Hellas Verona. Gunella's gone to Avellino, and then a few affiliate loans. Osmani to Como. Osmani, I think if he does play a bit more football, could maybe be useful. Maybe just as a backup, though. And because he's a defender, we don't have loads of them, do we? And then Franco Di Maio, the centre-back striker, has gone to Como, where, according to when I did the loan, he's going to be a start. Sorry, it's Sosho. According to this, though, he's going to be a starter there, which could be quite useful. Another one that could definitely get first-team football. He's played 9 games so far. A lot of them, 8 of them in this season, all off the bench, and then 1 last year, also off the bench. But maybe with a bit more game time, he could actually be a squad player for us. Albanese's maybe the one that I'm most excited about in terms of being a prospect, but he does need football. You've got these down arrows here. He needs to go to Cracovia in Poland and play games, and he's already played a couple of games, which is good. Hasn't scored a goal yet. But that's sort of it, really, for the squad building. The other players that I've got an eye on for this year are Pacenti, the number 10 that's come through. I've put De Sommer into the first team. He came through our youth intake. I've given him a lovely little face look. He's got downward arrows at the moment, which I don't like, but he was our youth intake centre-back from last season. I wonder if we can try and give him game time because he looks good. He looks like he's going to be good, definitely. And again, he's a defender, so we're going to need him to be good. I also want Campodelli to play lots more games. The other player, Pasquale Palmer, I've got high hopes for him as well. He's tall, he's strong, he can pass, he's got good technique. His mentals were always brilliant. It was these physicals which we just need to improve, but his value's right up there. And I think there is maybe some, I don't know, it's hard to tell with the downward arrows, but I don't think he had 10 acceleration before. 10 acceleration, 11 pace, I think is progress. So hopefully he can continue that as well. But those ones I'm going to keep an eye on, and I'm going to make Martucci our starting number 10, I think. Like I said, even though he's got downward arrows as well, I think he's actually coming along quite nicely. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to rush through the first half of this season. Hopefully every game goes like this first game here where we won 7-2. And it was actually 2 goals from Campani, 2 from Spinelli, 1 from Martucci, 1 from Zilli, 1 from Bruno. It is a lot of our main men in there, isn't it? It's cool to see. It's really cool to see. Hopefully every game is like that as we go towards January. Hopefully we will have made our way safely through to the next round of the Champions League by then as well, or at least very close to doing so. And I'll be back with an update where we'll get our youth intake preview, and hopefully we can go again in the Champions League this year. Come on. All right then, welcome to January the 1st, 2038. I don't think there's many YouTube saves that I've done where we've got to 2038, so this is quite cool. The big news to tell you on this particular day is that Thomas Camperdelli has won the European Golden Boy Award, which is quite the prestigious award at 18 years old. Look at that value. This guy is going to be our best player. I actually don't know if he's made that much progress. Has he actually developed at all, or is he's been injured, so that's probably explains it. He's coming back from a broken ankle. He's almost back. I say that in the next month or so he'll be back in action. That's probably explaining why he hasn't come along too much. Such a shame that he's had the injuries. I hope it's not because he's injury prone, but he has had quite a few since he came through. Bruised his ankle, he's twisted his ankle, then bruised his ankle, and then broken his ankle. Pulled his ankle ligaments here a couple of times as well. Maybe a slight thing going on with his ankle. It doesn't say that he's injury prone, but he seems to be struggling with his ankle a little bit. So maybe something we need to just keep an eye on. But when he comes back, we've got the European Golden Boy right in amongst our ranks right there, which is very cool to see. In the league, we're doing very, very well. We have won. We're top of the league by 8 points. It looks like the title is coming home again, which is very cool because we didn't manage to do that last year, even though we ended up finishing second in the end. I'd really like to go and win a few more Serie A titles to compound things, to become a really established, to become the best team in Italy, basically, is what we want to do. It looks like this year's going to be that again. Campani's got 14 goals. Zilli's been excellent this year, really stepped up in our midfield because he's become very comfortable. He's been our midfielder for so long. Yeah, that's 388 league games. Really cool to see. He's actually not our top appearance maker either. If we go to the records, the most appearances have been made by Mattasera, 433. Campani's our top goal scorer. Look at that, 217 league goals. Campani has scored 217. You can just about see it underneath me here, look. 217 in 327 games. That is an outrageous record. There it is, look, so you can actually see it. 34 assists, 33 player of the matches. What a man that is. He is right there at the top of our individual records. He got 36 in one season. Highest average rating was Spinelli. Youngest player is still Gianluca Zilli at 15 years. We haven't got the oldest player. I don't think we're going to beat that. Although, going back a while now, Domenico Giampa apparently is an outfield player. And I said that it's probably a goalkeeper, but it's not. It's also because he got the oldest goal scorer look, which I suppose kind of gives away that he wasn't a goalkeeper. Although, could happen, couldn't it, I suppose. It's really cool when you get this deep into a save to see all of the records being broken by players from the save, especially when they're new gen players as well. I wonder if anyone will overtake Mattasera with the most appearances. If I go to best 11, who's actually close to Mattasera? He's got 481 games in all comps. He's actually behind Gargano. I wonder if Gargano might overtake him because he's a goalie and he plays every game. Mattasera does pick up injuries and things, so I wonder if Gargano will end up being the most appearanced player in this save. He might be. Pasqualini's very close, by the way. 476 for him. 133 goals for him. Anyway, we're digressing. I know that you want to see these things, but I love looking at the records when you get this deep into a save. But there is some things that I need to share with you. And let's start with the Champions League, where we have played the following games in this competition this year. We're doing okay. We've played 6, won 3, lost 3. We beat PSV Eindhoven. We beat Manchester United, which feels like a big win because it's hard to beat them in Football Manager. We lost to Milan, who are actually quite good, but we finished above them. We're the best team in Italy. I'm going to go out there and say, because we're going to win the league this year. We beat Lask 5-1, 9 points from 6 games. It should mean we're going to go through because we've got Ajax away, which I think we can win, but then we've got Molde away, which I'm almost certain we're going to win. 12 points is usually enough to get you through in the Champions League, isn't it? 12 points, I want, probably not. If we get 2 wins and finish on 15, maybe we sneak into this top 8. Again, though, similar to last year, if we just go through, I'm kind of okay with that. I think we should just try and finish as high as possible to try and get the easiest tie in a playoff if we end up going into a playoff, right? That's all going very well. I'll show you the results in the league as well, just so you can get full clarity on how things are actually going. It's going very well is the overall thing to say. We've got lots of goals being scored by Campani this year. He's back amongst the goals. Not that he wasn't last year, but he's got 14 and 16 this year, 18 and 21 all competitions. I'll show you on the tactics page here. If I pick the best 11, you can see some of the stats of the players. Campanelli's not played loads because of the injury. 18 goals for Campani, just 6 goals from Spinelli, which is maybe a bit disappointing. Bruno's got 8. in there, mostly from set pieces. You can see Palmer's played a lot of games, Pasquale Palmer, in our defence. He's definitely getting better. Value's going up. He's got under 21 caps for Italy, look. It's just these physicals. They're not really kicking on like I want them to be. Basically, if we get 12s, 13s, 14s across all of these, that's an elite centre-back we've got. And I think Palmer became listed our hot prospect. He was, I'm sure. Now, Albanese is that, who's out on loan. He's not scored a goal, which I am concerned about, playing in the Polish league. Is that a worry? Because he's gone there as a striker and he's playing games but doesn't score goals. I'm a bit worried about that. But he's listed as a hot prospect, so that's maybe good as well. You can see the other appearances from some of the other players. I've not managed to get Pacenti into the team, and it's okay because he is improving as a footballer and he's only 17 and he's getting really good training facilities and things like that. But Martucci's just been really important and he's improving. He's now 21. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists. It's not amazing, but he feels like the established first choice central attacking midfielder for us. So that's kind of what, maybe I need to manage that a bit and try and give him some appearances, Pacenti. I'm not quite sure right now, so that's definitely something to think about. Lastly, we have seen our training facilities drop down to 4.5 stars, but do not panic. I have asked for them to be improved, and they are being improved. And finally, you will have maybe noticed, if you're very eagle-eyed, we're not playing at our stadium anymore. We are playing our games at the San Vito Gigi Marulla, which is in Consenza? Yeah, it says it right there. I was like, I remember this. No, it says it right underneath. In Consenza, it's a 20,000 capacity stadium, so similar to ours, but that is because they are actually expanding our stadium. It's going to take ages though, in 9 months' time. So it was started right back in 2036, so which is over a year ago from now, but we've still got another 9 months to go on that. So in around September this year, we will have an expanded stadium as well. So ready for next year. We'll be back home and with more fans able to come in and watch us, which is pretty cool. Lastly, before we finish off this Champions League group phase and hopefully continue to go and win the title, I need to show you our youth intake preview, which looks like this. It's another golden generation. Yay! There's 2 forwards, which are fine prospects. There's a wing back who's very highly rated. I'd like that to be a left back, if I could just request that right now, because we've got Campodelli at right back, who's going to be our best player at some point. Matasera's getting a bit older, so maybe a really good left back as his understudy would be quite nice. There's also, it says we don't have particularly good centre backs coming through, but it has been rated as a B. So I'm getting mixed messages there, but that's what the intake looks like. Right now, though, I'm going to go and hopefully qualify for the next round of the Champions League. Take us, hopefully, unless something bad happens, up until about March when we get our youth intake. We'll go through those players, and then I'm really hoping we've got some knockout Champions League games to go and play again, a bit like last year. I'll see you with an update in a bit. And here is the update. It is all going okay. There's no big bad news to bring you, other than we are being reeled in a little bit by Juventus and Milan at the top of this league table. In fact, it's only 2 points the gap now to Juventus, who have played the same amount of games as us. And that's because they've just beaten us twice. They beat us in the league 2-1. They also beat us in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia first leg as well. And before that, we lost to Milan. So it's 3 losses in a row. I don't want to say the wheels are coming off, because I don't think they are. It's been a really good January and February. Look, you see the results there. In the Champions League, we won both of our last 2 games, although it wasn't enough to qualify us in the top 8. We finished 14th in the league phase, but not to worry, because then we went through to the playoff and we got Valencia and beat them 5-2 on aggregate. I'll show you the goals from the second leg. We got the second leg at home and just did the business, to be honest, at home. We've had a few injuries, though. We had to play Dario Roma, the young left winger, and Parisi. Parisi has not played a lot of football in the past few seasons, but he had to start up front in this game. It was okay, though, because he did okay. We won the game 3-0. It was a goal from Roma, from Teresi, who is one of the defenders, and then Torti starting or coming into this game. There's Roma's goal. Started as a striker and smashed it in on his left foot. This was the second goal, second half. Roma plays it back out to Teresi, who's playing left back. He scores with his right foot. It makes no sense, but we take it. And then finally, set piece from D'Angelo into Torti. They don't mark him. He smashes in. That's 5-2 on aggregate. That sees us through to the quarterfinal of the round of 16 in the Champions League. Round of 16, we had Milan. And guess what? big update. We're through to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Now, this one was particularly rough. We won, or I mean, just look at the stats on there. Luckily for us, I'll show you one here. We won the first leg against them 2-1. It was all goals from Donjia and D'Angelo, and then Rullo getting sent off. We won that game 2-1. Then we went to the San Siro, and well, they made it tough. They had 37 shots. We rode our luck. We ended up coming out with a 3-3 draw after extra time. It was this goal that made sure that we've gone through to the quarterfinal. It's Gianluca Zilli with a super, super important goal. Zilli picks it up in the box here, gives it D'Angelo, gives it to Ortiu, gets it back to Zilli, and he smashes it in near post. Wearing our white kit. I think you have seen that before, but it looks nice, doesn't it? And that takes us through to the Champions League quarterfinal where we've got Chelsea. So the dream is alive. The league title, which I almost was taking for granted, is actually all to play for. We've gone out of the cup and things like that, but there could be a Champions League fairy tale at the end of this season still. I think what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and play these Chelsea games and try to set up a live comp semi-final. Now, if we go out, I'll be back to tell us that we've gone out because these things happen. If we go out, we'll probably have another season in this video today. If we go through, we'll have some live comps. How does that sound? I feel like that's the best way to do this. We're probably going to go out of the Coppa Italia. Basically, before I go and play through most of April, I just need to show you our youth intake because we have had it and I have actually already offered the contracts to players and I'm feeling quite good about it. It actually does look like a golden generation. These are the players. It says golden generation there. We've got 2 elite talents, 2 strikers. Now, on the intake preview, it did say that 2 of the strikers look pretty good. They do look pretty good. I'm mainly excited about one of them. I'm going to show you both, and I want you to guess which one I'm actually excited about. We've got Manuel Villa, or Villa, depending on how you say it. In Italian, would you say Villa or Villa? Probably Villa, wouldn't it? He is quite good. He's got good first touch and finishing, good technique, good composure, nice flair, good teamwork. Mentals and technicals looking really good for a striker, lacking in physicals. Again, we'd probably prefer it that way, wouldn't we? Good determination, good personality. I'm fairly excited about Manuel Villa. Now, let me show you the other one. I've given it away, basically, haven't I? Davide Rana is a fantastic finisher. He's got good composure, anticipation, good decisions. Technique's a bit rubbish. Off the ball's a bit meh. But he's 6'4", he's left-footed, and he's got okay physicals to begin with. A 10 acceleration, 10 pace feels like a good starting point to me. And yeah, you probably guessed it. This is the guy that I'm most excited about. Mainly because of his height and because of his slightly higher starting point for physicals. There are some better attributes in these places, particularly the technique, for example, that is better for Villa. But if this guy here kicks on, he's fairly ambitious. He's got okay determination. If this guy kicks on, I could see him becoming a bit like Campani, basically. I don't know if he'll have the same potential as Campani. It's really difficult to tell, but he kind of reminds me of him. He reminds me of a young Campani right now. Then I went through the other players, and I'm actually quite excited about a lot of them. Alessio Bianco, centre-back, tall, which is always good, and decent mentals to begin with. He could be the right footer, eventually maybe, to go with Pasquale Palmer, is what I was thinking. I don't know if he'll get there, but that's kind of what I'm thinking and pushing him towards being. The cons on him aren't great, inconsistent and susceptible to injuries, but good determination, good personality on Bianco. Then we've got Mirko Arcidiacono. Also, going through these players, we've got an Ecuadorian, a Norwegian, which is maybe to do with our affiliation with Stabak. We've also got a few Englishmen, which is quite fun. Sam Foley, Callum Rees-Jones, and William Egan, who's a goalkeeper. I don't know why we're getting, I guess, is that because I'm the manager that we're getting Englishmen through? They're not my son, anyway, which is a shame. But we've got Mirko Arcidiacono, who is a 5'4" defensive midfielder who can't tackle, particularly low determination, really low determination attribute. So I feel like he might be a bit of a write-off, but I'm not actually writing him off because I've done that before and been kicked myself for it, haven't I? This player, though, now tell me, where would you play him? Luis Videla, he's technically a centre-back, but I don't think he's a centre-back. I look at the teamwork and the work rate and think full-back immediately. Can't cross, but can tackle. I think maybe a right-back, but is he lacking the physical? Is he a defensive midfielder maybe? Because he can tackle, can pass, vision's a bit low, but these mentals and a few of these attributes, the 20 teamwork, 17 work rate, makes me think that we might have a player on our hands here. It's just where would we play him? Argentinian as well, which is quite fun, isn't it? And then finally, out of the players that I think might be quite good is Giovanni Genci, who's another right back. Now, this I think is the player from the intake that said one of our wing backs is decent. I wanted it to be a left back. He's actually a right back. However, I think he could be a good right back for us. Good physicals for a starting point. Good mentals for a starting point. And can tackle and has a good first touch. We'll keep an eye on him. I will, of course, well, I mean, you can see I've already offered contracts to all of these players. There may be one or two of these that get contracts as well, depending on what Marjotta suggests to me. But definitely these guys, particularly Videla, wanted a really, I can show you here actually, wanted quite a lot of money to begin with for his contract. So that tells me that he might just be quite good. It's just one of those clues that we look for, isn't it? Anyway, that's the intake. Hopefully we're going to win the Champions League this year and we'll never even see them. Although that's unlikely, so I will get them signed anyway. I'm going to go and play these games now in April, and I'll see you, hopefully, fingers crossed, for a Champions League semi-final, if we can get past Chelsea. Come on. Okay, there was nothing to be worried about. This is what we've just done in the first leg of the Chelsea Champions League quarter-final. We've pretty much already, after this game, booked our place in the Champions League semi-final again. We dominated Chelsea. It was actually a little bit shocking how easy it was. Campani gave us the lead with a penalty. They did have a red card, but their red card didn't come till right at the end, so don't be fooled by that one there. 2-0 inside the first half from Luca Orfe. This is because Spinelli was not fit. Pasqualini then took this free kick, which bounced straight to Ennio Bruno, who popped it in. Very, very lucky the way it fell to him. Chelsea then did get a goal back. That was, what was it, 3-1 after this goal here. It was Bernal. They've got Tyler Dibbling playing for them there, look. But then second half, going up the other end, look. Bruno and Donjia exchanging passes. Campani in behind. Somehow it bounced in. I think it was an own goal that it was given us. Well, it should have been, but I think Campani actually got it. Then Zilli plays that ball to Campani. Lovely bit of football. D'Angelo, you'll notice, scores against the team that did not give him a proper chance. The team that let him just go there and not play football and then released him so that he came home. And that felt like a big moment as he popped that ball into the back of the net. The fifth, the final nail, he was also good when he came off the bench too, was D'Angelo. Look at this. Lorenzo D'Angelo played in, what, 4-5 seasons he was there? 3 games for them. They did not give him a chance. 2 starts as well in that time, and then they released him and he came home and he's now played 252 games for us, so that felt like a big one. Second leg, we did lose the second leg. It was 2-0, but it was fine because it does not matter at this stage. We've gone through to a semi-final where we play Manchester United. The semi-final of the Champions League looks like this. It's Barcelona, the team that destroyed us last year in the semis, versus Bayern Munich. It's us versus Manchester United. That becomes the live comm right now. You can, please just win. Please just win. We've beaten them, by the way. We do have history against Manchester United this year. We played them in the group phase, the league phase, and beat them 2-1. Campani and Martucci scored the goals there. So I feel more confident than I did against Barcelona, but you know that anything can happen. We've got the first leg at home. We bottled that first leg last year against Barca, didn't we? And we're going to go and play that now. Quickly, though, I need to show you that in the league, we've kind of wrestled back a bit of the initiative. We've got a game in hand and a 2-point lead. Juventus are right there with us, but our results have been pretty good. We've won a lot of games, actually. 2-1 win here, 4-2, 6-1 win against Bologna. So since losing to Juve here, look, our results in the league, I think we've won every game. We've scored quite a lot of goals as well. But the league isn't the priority, is it? Although I would like to win it. Right now, we go and play Manchester United in a Champions League semi-final. It's time to pick the team. Let's go through them. Gargano in goal, of course. 52 games this year already. Campodelli, Rollo, Palmer. Now, does Palmer start? I think he has to. Teresi is available. I think we're going to go Teresi. I think we have to prioritise the experience and things like that. Evans also can be on our bench here. So let's put him in instead of Raimondi because he can actually play right back and cover at right back anyway, can't he? We actually don't have any injuries. We're looking pretty good, although a couple of our players are tired. Zilli and Spinelli, but they have to play. It's the most important game of the season. They have to play. Rollo, Teresi, Matasera, Bruno, Zilli, Martucci, Pasqualini, Campani, Spinelli. We're basically at full strength there, aren't we? which feels like a good place to be. I'm going to submit this team, and I just really, really hope we can go and do the business here. Let's go and find out what this Erik ten Hag Manchester United team looks like. Oh, they've signed Shaquille Van Persie. Højlund still plays. Mainu still plays. That's a lot of real players actually in the team, isn't it? A lot of new gens as well, of course, like AD Janata in the goal. I'm assuming he's a new gen. I'm going to say enjoy the match. I don't want to put too much pressure on this. Here come the teams. Just the small matter of a Champions League. Are they playing in green? It looks like it. Small matter of a Champions League semi-final here. We're underway. United have had the first shot on goal. We've got the ball for the first highlight, though, with Camperdelli down the right-hand side. Spinelli, it's come off his heel there, I think. They've cleared it. I don't know why Manchester United have got green. It's green down here, but they're wearing a blue kit. I'm not going to ask any more questions. Was that a highlight? Apparently that was a highlight. We've got a corner. Now Bruno, just head it in. It'd be an amazing start. Pasqualini crosses. Bruno's on the end of it. Bruno does head it in. That's the master plan. Ennio Bruno with a towering header. That's what he does. And we've got ourselves the lead against United. Just get the big man with the 20 jumping reach. Stick it on his head. And take the lead in a game. Beautiful. Pasqualini with another vital, important contribution to this team. 20 or so minutes approaching. United have actually had 5 shots. Should I be worried about that? Probably. It does say Catans are enjoying themselves, though. So maybe we're doing our thing out there. 25 minutes. We've got another attack down the right-hand side. Camperdelli throws it straight to them, but we've won it back. Well done. The European golden boy, Camperdelli, no less. Into Bruno, into Camperdelli again. Get in the box, lads. Pasqualini, I thought he was going to get his header on it again. He's really good at that. What is that high line? Braun is in behind with his ginger flowing locks and he's put it wide. We have just been caught with a really, really high line. It's the same as what we usually play, but I swear usually we drop off a little bit more than that when they turn over the ball. But we got caught out by Braun, who's a box-to-box midfielder for them with very ginger hair. Look at that for a head. I had to click on it. It's actually quite impressive. Free kick. Pasqualini. Look at the football. Oh, Campani. Just the semi-final here, and I'm getting very carried away. That felt like a big chance. It was a lovely little set piece that we played. Bruno, get on the end of this then. It is towards him. It's going to be another corner. Mainu handball that? It looked like he might have done a little bit, but I don't think he did. Pasqualini again. Bruno is going to be the target. There he is. Flicked on and over. Almost like that's our entire game plan. And it pretty much is. Goal kick for United. We're still in the first half here. That looked a bit dangerous, like we could have picked up the ball there, but we haven't. I was going to say, yeah, that it is good. Camperdelli gets it back. Martucci with the ball. Straight into Højlund. Camperdelli wins it back again. Oh, I don't like the way that this feels a bit goal. Oh, it could be a bit short, is it? No. The way that we've won the ball back a couple of times and they've retained possession makes me think that this is going to end up in the back of our net. Vazquez down the right-hand side with loads of room to do so. Headed away by Bruno. Get there first, Spinelli. He can't. He skipped past his man there, Van Persie. Gets into the box. Smashes home. It just felt goal, didn't it? If you play as much Football Manager as I do, you just know when the goal's coming. And that was one of those times. As soon as you try to win the ball back and lose it, it just felt like it. It's a lovely bit of play from Van Persie. He goes round Camperdelli and then just shoots from there and scores. 1-1. And I can't help but feel we've missed a couple of chances here. What are we going to do with this? The nice... Oh my word. What? Oh my word. What a bit of play. The flag stayed down. I think Ennio Bruno's goal is going to count here. We did it on a set piece before where we've bamboozled them with the work that we've done on the training pitch. Goal awarded. Ennio Bruno has scored again. This time it's not even a header. Martucci with the threaded ball through. Good finish from Bruno. 2-1 before half-time. That was very, very nice. We take those all day long. We have a lead. Now we just need to keep that lead. I'm going to say, don't let there be any complacency. Second half. They've made a change. Yeah, it says here they're wearing this green kit, look, but they're quite clearly not in the game, are they? 40 or so minutes to play. I do kind of want a cushion here. We've played well enough for me to think if we get a 2-goal cushion going to theirs, we'd have a chance. If it's just one, I'm a bit worried about it. And if they equalise, our work is really cut out at that stage, isn't it? Dodd coming forward. Oh my God. Oh my Dodd. That is an outrageous goal. I mean, question marks about the keeper. Are we going to be let down because Gargano is not really a very good keeper, but I kind of want to say tackle him rather than letting him unleash this shot from there. Does it go down the middle? It's not great keeping, is it? It's 2-2. Oh, for Pete's sake. Right. Encourage them. Another set piece might be what we need because that is where both of our goals have come from, isn't it? That's such a shame. Such a silly goal to concede as well. Right. 62 minutes on the clock. I'm looking at plays and thinking, where can we make changes here? The attack's not really done it, has it? Campani's struggling. I'm going to do Luca Orfei. He's actually a pretty good footballer these days, is Luca Orfei. He's got good pace. Maybe he can unlock this United defence. Something slightly different, playing through the middle. We've got some tired footballers as well, but the quality drop when I take these off is quite severe. I kind of do want to keep them on. Do I go for it and try and get ourselves a lead for this game? I almost need to. We are knackered. Gianluca Zilli is coming off for... Let's do Torti. Let's also bring D'Angelo on. And I'm going to do Dario Roma up front. So just do feel like we need players. Maybe Donja at right back as well. Just fresh legs for the last 10 minutes. I'm going to berate them. They might not like the berating at 2-2, but can we get one chance? A set piece, something happen? Doesn't look like it's going to happen. There is a highlight, but United have the ball. Go and win that ball back. Go and win that ball back. Noon. We do win it back. Here we go. Turn over to us. Oh, D'Angelo, what are you doing, mate? It's over. I thought that was the moment. I thought we were going to launch an attack, but he just dilly-dallied on it. Very Ranieri. We've got a set piece here. Here we go. Bruno. It's in. It's an own goal, I think. It's in. It's an own goal from Ponticus. We are going to take a lead back to Old Trafford. And it's another set-piece goal. If this has to be our way of winning the Champions League, then so be it. Bruno gets the header. Oh, Jesus. I'm sure that could have been looked at for offside because D'Angelo's right in there. But we do have a lead. And there is less than a minute to play. And I'm scared now because there's another highlight. If we score again here, what on earth is that? What on earth is that? We've won the ball. Did you see what just happened? We won the ball but lost it again. We've got away with it. I think that hit the bar. It's still bouncing around. Get the ball away. Time's up, ref. Love that from you, Roma. Just smash it out. Very good. Blow the whistle, ref. Okay. I'm fine. I'm not stressed. You are. We've got ourselves a 3-2 lead to take to Old Trafford. It's a scary, slim, worrying lead, but it is a lead. Let's go and get ourselves ready, brush ourselves down and go again as we played Manchester United in the second leg. I'll see you there. Whew. Okay then, here we go. Second leg is upon us. One thing to just show you really quickly. I rested everybody for the Roma game in between. You'll see it's a completely changed team. A few of the subs did come on, like Spinelli and Campani off the bench. We lost 2-0. So the league title is right up there in the air. We are actually behind, although we do have a game in hand. But I'm hoping it does not matter because it all comes down to this. I'm feeling weirdly okay. Like, I reckon we can do this. I have been debating whether we actually go and play attacking like this or not. And just for me, my entire way that I play Football Manager is attack is the best form of defense. I was thinking, do we go to the 4-3-3? No, we're going to stick with it. It means, I think, hopefully we get the best out of our two strikers. So we're going to go with this. The team is actually, I think, the same as the first leg. Gargano, Campodelli, Rollo, Torrisi, Mattasera, Bruno Zilli, Martucci, Pasqualini, Campani and Spinelli. I think we're just going to do this. I'm going to submit the team. Let's go and find out what Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag, who's weirdly still there, have for us. That's the team. It looks similar, although Braun is on the bench. I was looking for the lovely flowing hair of David Braun. He looks like he's on the bench. Oh, look, we're wearing our blue kit. I think this is the first time you've seen this one. Let's get ourselves underway. Let's go and get ourselves to a Champions League final. I believe, I really, truly do believe. Please do me proud, lads. We have a 1-goal lead in this game. First 5 minutes, no highlights. If that wants to continue, if we go into the second half, we're around 60. You better believe that I'm going to start to try to lock this game down. 15 minutes, very tight. Not loads happening. 20 minutes on the clock approaching. Not a single highlight. That is about to change. Here come Manchester United at Old Trafford. I assume it's still Old Trafford and they've not built that crazy stadium with the tents and stuff. I think it is still Old Trafford in the game. Here we've got the ball back. Martucci, a lovely two. Oh, Campani might be on. I think he's on. I think he's onside. They are going to check this. It's a lovely move. I think we've given ourselves a 4-2 lead here. The linesman's kept his flag down. We're 4-2 up. This is a beauty of a goal. Let's look at it from the reverse angle, why don't we? Bruno into Martucci, into Spinelli, on the swivel, into his strike partner, Campani. That's 1-0 on the night. First proper highlight. We've got a set piece here as well. Pasqualini. Bruno. Oh, that would have been serious celebration time, wouldn't it, if he heads that in? That is the game plan. Both strikers playing well as well with the goal and the assist. That should be good confidence. We've scored early in this game, piling the pressure onto Manchester United. When do we go more defensive and solid in this tie? That's not a great pass, but at least we've got Dodge going the wrong way. They're gonna have to play out and they can't. Oh my word, I think he hit that on the volley, Campani. What an effort. It's fine because the highlights, the chances are falling to us here, even though we're the away team. Performances from United don't look great. They don't look particularly happy on the pitch either. This is exactly what we need. 38 minutes on the clock. We're approaching half time. I said 60 before. If we've got a 2-goal lead at 60, I think I'll change things. As risky as that feels right now, it kind of, I think, is the sensible thing to do. It's been a half where not a lot has happened and that suits us down to the ground. You're doing brilliantly. No changes for now, lads. They've brought on Ponticos again. They did this in the first leg. He ended up scoring an own goal. We've got another corner. Bruno. I thought that was in. I was about to celebrate. I really thought he'd headed that in. He's headed it just wide. Will we end up regretting that? I really hope not. 5 minutes to go until it is that 60-minute mark that I've talked about. We've got there. It's time to change. Should you change a winning side? Probably not. But does this give us more protection in front of the defence? I think it does. We've got Torti as well. Torti can do this role. Just come in, be our box-to-box. Bruno sits in front of the defence. I think that's what we do. If we get to 70, we start to do more subs and more time wasting. I'm looking at Campodelli, who's a little bit tired. But United have really offered nothing in this game. They need 2 goals to take it to extra time. And with 20 minutes to play, they're not looking likely to do that at all. Let's do another sub. Campodelli, because we've got Donja on the bench. I'm going to say also a little bit of time wasting at this stage. Try and get ourselves up to 80 is the next milestone we're looking for. This is a masterclass of a European away game so far. Pasqualini struggling a bit. I don't think it matters. 10 to play. I'm going to make fresh leg subs at this stage now. This is our final stoppage to make changes, isn't it? So, Matasera for Palmer to save his legs. Bruno looks a bit tired, so maybe we do D'Angelo on in the midfield and push Torti back a little bit. And then I said Pasqualini struggling, so we do... I'd love to bring on Roma, but he's injured. I guess Parisi's going to have a run out. He's getting old now, is Parisi. He's 29. He's going to have to play in this game. I'm going to do the subs like that. And then I'm going to wait a few minutes and then I'm going to go time wasting. Now we're going to go time wasting. Because now we're getting to the point. Let's be more disciplined as well. We're getting to the point where if we're sensible and we don't allow them the chances, they're going to run out of time. They've had more of the shots, but I don't think we've had a single United highlight. This might be the first highlight of the game. If they score now, it's a little bit scary. It's deflected wide. It's going to be a corner. We might have got away with it because there's only 2 minutes left on the clock. Even if they score now, surely they won't have time. And they're not going to score like that. It's horrible. That's fine from Spinelli. Blow the whistle, referee. We're going to a Champions League final. What a performance that is away from home. A European away performance for the ages, if I do say so myself. We got the goal early and then we just held on. Wow. Okay. You're going to get a Champions League final in this video. We need to go and find out, will it be Bayern Munich or will it be Barcelona, the team that smashed us last year? It's at the Bernabeu and it's Bayern Munich. Okay, the game will be played on the 29th of May at the end of this month. We've got the small matter of a title run in here. We've got 4 games to go and we need to win. Well, if we win our games, we win the league. We've got, I think, Inter next as well. It's a really tricky thing to try and navigate both. But let's try and get this League One early and get ourselves ready for a Champions League final. And I will see you with an update on the league, ready to play Bayern Munich in a Champions League. What a performance that is. Champions League final for our lads. I'll see you then. Oh, my word. Okay, it could all come down to this. Catanzaro versus Bayern Munich in the Bernabeu in 2038. Before we get into that, I need to show you that we have won the league again. A fantastic rest of May. We beat Inter, and then from that point it was pretty much done. We beat Torino twice. I don't know why we had them back to back in the league. It was a bit weird. I think it's because it got postponed. I think we were supposed to have it right at the start of January, because I remember thinking that's when I was going to come back. It was on that game to tell you how we were doing in Jan, and then it got postponed, and then we played them back to back here, which is a bit weird. We won the league with a 3-0 win against Empoli, and that gave us 93 points. Very poetic that we got another league title with 93 points again, which is quite fun. We are ready though. It's 2 league titles in 3 years, but this was never the priority. We've done this before. The priority, I think we're ready for it. Let's go and play Bayern Munich in a Champions League final. Let's pick this team, and I think we're looking pretty good. We've got no issues, in fact. There is nobody injured right now, which is a really nice place to be in. People are feeling brilliant because we've just won the league. It's going to be Gargano, Campidello, Rullo and Teresi. Now, the only debate is Teresi or Palmer. They're very well matched. Who's better right now, Teresi or Palmer? Who's in better form? Palmer's played 30 games, 6.82 last 5. 6.98. Teresi did it in the last round. We're going to go Teresi. Matacera at left back. Bruno Zilli, Martucci, Pasqualini, Spinelli, and Campani. The team picks itself. On the bench, I just need to check if I've got everybody. Let's put you on there because we might need a defender. Pacenti in case we need an attacker rather than Parisi. He can play up front as well, which is quite useful. Roma's back from injury as well, which is good. Orfe is there if we need a striker as well. These are the lads. These are the lads that are going to take us to Champions League glory, hopefully. Submit that team. Let's go and find out what Jurgen Klopp's Bayern Munich have got for us. There's the team. Now, obviously, most of these players are new gens, but they do have João Neves. They've got Evan Ferguson leading their line. I'm going to tell my lads, if you carry on your last performance, we'll win the trophy. Here we are in the Bernabeu. There is a team of heroes right there. A team of legends. The best characters of any movie are going to go and win this for us. I was going to say I'm sure of it. I'd love it to happen right now. There's the Bayern Munich team. Rooney Bargi's on the bench for them there, look. Let's get ourselves kicked off. Let's get ourselves underway. I've got a feeling that we're both wearing very red kits for this final, which is a bit of a worry. But we're underway. 5 minutes on the clock. Nothing has happened so far. Champions League final day, everybody. Tell me you're as nervous as I am. We've got a corner now. We know we're good from these. Get on the end of it, Bruno. It's headed away by the smallest man on the pitch, João Neves. Martucci, Pasqualini could shoot here. Could shoot here. And Pasqualini has given us the lead in the Champions League final. The man that I always say it scores vital goals for this football team has just scored a Champions League final goal for us. The man that is nowhere near good enough, or at least he looks nowhere near good enough, but he always delivers for us. His goal record, his assist record, his goal contribution record has always been top notch, and he's given us the lead in a Champions League final. That is outrageous. We've got another corner. Bruno heads it in and we'll be in dreamland. Bruno's headed it over. Okay, don't get too carried away. Calm yourself down. I'm mainly talking to myself here, but we have the lead against a very strong Bayern Munich team. This is the team that knocked out Barcelona, who we know destroyed us last season. In 25 minutes, though, it's all been us. As we both wear red kits for this final. I guess theirs is counting as white, isn't it? Campani pulling wide into Pasqualini. Back into the middle. Martucci! The youngster! 19 for the season. We're 2-0 up. I'm in dreamland. I'm now terrified. I'm now very, very scared. because we have got a proper lead to hold on to. Look at that little movement from Campani. He gives it Pasqualini. I think it's an assist. It's a Pasqualini goal and an assist in this final. Martucci finishes. I'm so glad I just believed in Martucci, I think is what I'm trying to say, but I'm really struggling to talk because I'm getting a bit scared because we've given ourselves the starting point. Ferguson's headed in. They're going to check for offside, but that flag is down. I think this goal is going to count. It is. It's been headed in by Evan Ferguson. He's beaten Rullo in the air. Of course he's beaten Rullo in the air. Rullo's only 5'10". We know this. It's okay. Pasqualini. Matacera down the left. We still have a lead. Pasqualini again. Our star man so far, Campani, blocked. I think that will be the highlight as well. We did create another chance there, but it was just blocked by the defender. They've had one shot. Do not panic about the fact that they've split our lead in half here, because we would have taken this at kickoff, wouldn't we? Going in at halftime with a lead is sort of above all of our wildest dreams anyway. Halftime, we're in front in a Champions League final. Pasqualini goal and assist. In fact, Martucci goal and assist as well. Halftime, what am I going to say to them? We're halfway there. Keep it up. I kind of want to just say, I'm just going to say keep it up. I don't want to say anything negative. I don't want to take any risks, basically. We've got Bruno getting a bit tired. Thinking about how maybe we could bring on Paolo Torti there. Campodelli's having a really good game at right back. We are actually well in charge of this game, but it's only a 1-goal game at this stage. I'm going to praise them. 60 minutes on the clock. 9 out of 10. Oh, it was a 9 briefly for Pasqualini. 65 gone. In that second leg of the semi, I went pragmatic and it worked. I'm wondering if I do that now. I'd love us to score a goal now. Stankovic has claimed it. Highlight will continue here. Will Bayern Munich get a chance? And should I have locked this down a little bit earlier? Maybe, maybe not. We're on the attack again. Pasqualini. I can't believe how much he's shown up in this final here. Zilli into Pasqualini. Finds a lovely pass out wide. Campodelli. Campodelli goes alone to the byline. Spinelli! Heads in. That is a beauty of a goal. It's 3-1. We've got a 2-goal cushion back. Come on. Come on. 20 or so minutes to play. It's a beauty of a goal. Campodelli picks it up in space. Finds we've got loads of men in the middle. Spinelli, near post header, past the keeper, 3-1. Now it's time to change. Now it's time to lock things down. Bruno off for Torti. Question is, do I go? I think it is time to do this. Let's go to this. Martucci can play there, and I think I'll leave him on because he's playing very well. Torti goes as defensive midfielder. Spinelli goes wide right. Campani's not playing great and he's quite tired, but I think I'm going to leave him on for now. We've got what? I've not made any subs yet, have I? Matacera, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Matacera is we're going to have 4 centre-backs on the pitch. Palmer comes on, Teresi goes left back. Matacera then, we've got a more defensively solid left back. Bayern Munich on the attack. That's going to run through to Gargano. Take your time. I would say take your time. I've not told them to time waste yet. That's maybe with the next few subs, maybe telling them to take their time a bit more as well. Campani, get that ball. Good defending Campodelli, but we do have it back. Scoring a 4th means we win this game. It's confirmed. Spinelli's wide. Campani in the middle. I've left you on for a reason, Campani. That's okay. Just taking it easy. Torti. Zilli. It's a lovely first touch. He's put it wide. Look at that first touch to move it out of his body. The captain, Zilli. Right, 15 to go. Yes, I'm micromanaging this right now, but I feel like we have to. I'm going to do Martucci off for D'Angelo. I'm going to do... I want to leave Campani on because I just think he's a threat. Do you know what? I'm going to take him off. I've changed my mind. We're going to go Luca Orfe on up front. We are going to do... We've got, what, 1 sub left. Maybe I have another stoppage. Let's leave the last sub. I'm going to do it separately as well. I'm going to get them to do the subs. The highlight does begin now. And then we'll do the time wasting. Luca Orfe to lead the line. He's done very well. He's won the ball back high up the pitch as well. Finds Torti. Finds Teresi. Get yourself in the box. Or take your time. That's even better. Torti. D'Angelo. Campodelli. This lovely footballer. 4th goal here. He's got the ball back as well. Spinelli. D'Angelo. Oh, it's wide. It's wide. That would have been quite poetic as well. The man we brought back our 1 transfer of this save. 10 to play. I'm now going to tell them to time waste a little bit. Surely they've got nothing in the bank here. They look tired. They look they're playing rubbish. This surely is our game. But I just can't rule them out whilst... If they score now, you know that how nervous we're going to get. Stankovic has it. But we've not really given them a chance here. It's one goal and it was from a set piece, right? This has been our final. Just see it through, lads. Just see it through, lads. Campodelli's missed that ball. They're on the attack again here. That is so good to see. He smashed the ball over. 5 minutes to play. It's now time to go. I was going to do a shout. I'm getting confused. It's now to go full time wasting mode. And I'm going to do that and then I'm going to make the last sub. We're surely home and hosed. We're surely there. Who do we bring on at this stage? I think we bring on the Welshman, Thomas Evans. We'll bring him on at right back. Our boy from Abarbargoid, I can never say that place, is on at right back. Here he is to see us home for a Champions League victory with our youth intake players only. João Neves. Don't let them score a goal here. That's fine. Go all the way back to the keeper. We're approaching added time. I don't even know what to say. I've been playing this game for so long today. I just want us to win it here. The thought of going again after bottling it from here is just one I don't want to think about. But surely we don't from this position. Spinelli for a fourth to Orfe. He's put it in. The flag stays down. I think this might even count. They're appealing for offside. I think we've just put the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake. Goal awarded. Catanzaro winning the Champions League. Catanzaro. Youth Academy only players are about to win the Champions League. It's Orfe from the bench to make it 4-1. Blow that whistle. I want to see Gianluca Zilli lift that trophy. It's all over. Catanzaro have won the Champions League. This has been the most outrageous and most wonderful of Football Manager saves. I'm so glad I got to share it with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's Zilli season. We've won the Champions League with Catanzaro. What an adventure. What a time to be alive. What an achievement. I'm a bit emotional, I think. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to get started on the next adventure with you. Oh, what a time to be alive. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. Come on!